Om Bhadra Karnebhihi
Namahari Apadamauli Paryantam Guru Nama Krutim Smare Tena Vigna Pranasyanti Siddhyanti Cha Manorata Om Bhadram Karne Visrunuyama Deva Bhadram Pashyemaksha Jatra Tirairangaye Sustavagam Sastanobi Vyasema Deva Itai Yadayo Swasti na Hindro Vruddhashavaha Swasti na Pusha Vishwavedaha Swasti nastaksho Harishtanemihi Swasti na Brahaspatir Dadato Om Shanti 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 Om Agni Naya Supataraye Asman Vishwani Deva Vayunani Vidvan Yujodhyasma Juhurana Meno Bho Istante Nama Bhuktim Videma Om Shanti 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 Om Abrahman Brahmana Brahma Varchasi Jayatam Arashtre Rajanya Shurashadjo Adivyadhi Maharato Jayatam Dogdrim Dhenur Voda Nadvan Asusapti Purandhityosha Jishna Ratestha Sabheyo Yuva Asya Yajamanasya Viro Jayatam Nikame Nikamena Pajjanyo Navashyatu Palavatyo Navoshadayaha Pachantam Yogakshemo Nakalpetam Om Shanti 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 Om Abrahman Brahmana Brahma Varchasi Jayatam Arashtre Rajanya Shurashabhyadi Vyadhi Maharato Jayatam Dogdrim Dhenur Voda Nadvan Asusapti Purandhityosha Jishna Ratestha Sabheyo Yuva Asya Yajamanasya Viro Jayatam Nikame Nikamena Pajjanyo Navarshatu Palavatyo Navoshadayaha Pachantam Yogakshemo Nakalpetam Om Shanti 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 Om Apyayantu Mama Gani Vakprana Chakshuho Totramata Bhalamindriyani Cha Sarvani Sarva Brahma Upanishadam Maham Brahma Nirakuryam Mama Brahma Nirakaroto Anirakaranam Astu Anirakaranam Me Astu Tadhatmani Nirate Upanisatsu Dharma Te Mayi Santo Te Mayi Santo Om Shanti 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 Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Puram Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnameva Vashishyate Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Namaste.
Thank you. So beautiful. So we are now the students of the Aitareya Maharshi, who is very much friendly with Vamadeva Maharshi and other rishis. And he is also very much conversant with the scripture, with the Adikavya Ramayana and so on. Or we don't know whether this is earlier or Ramayana is earlier. That does not bother. So the other day I was just reading Ramayana and I could know that whatever ideas are there in this Upanishad is already there in Ramayana also, and that you find in the dialogue between the Jabali Maharshi and Sri Ramachandra. Actually, you see, Sri Ramachandra is always a student, never rebelliant. He doesn't want to rebel anybody, but he wants to be very much adhering to the instructions given by the acharyas and rishis. So he has got a lot, because by himself he is a rishi. Rishibhihi vidhimam dulyam kevalam dharmam asritam. Kaikeyi, that Rama, soon after he brought Sita home after marriage, he cautioned Sita that she may not expect much from him, because she says, Naham Arthabaro Devi, I am not fond of amassing wealth. So I am not fond of this mundane more and more increasing happiness. But Rushibhihi Vidhimam Tulyam Kevalam Dharma Asritam. I only out for dharma, and accordingly I behave, and I am just like a Rushi who cares more dharma than any other thing in the world. It's a beautiful statement which Rama said, and to such Rama, he had to meet a debating point from a Jabali Maharshi. And in Jabali Maharshi, when Bharata offered Rajyam back and told him, come, occupy, and all the entire Ayodhya is waiting for you to sit on the throne. I am not eligible. It is just, I'm not capable of drawing the load of this and all that. So then immediately Jabali Maharshi will speak about the science of birth, science of journey after leaving the body, and science of the goal to which everybody has to get himself oriented. It's interesting. So, ನನಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ, ನಾನು ಬರೀ ಐತರೇಯ ಉಪನಿಷತ್ತಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾತ್ರನೇ ನಮಗೆ ಅವಕಾಶ ಇದೆ to know, so Upanishadic knowledge is good. So all Upanishads will just represent the digested knowledge or the message or the wisdom important selective from our Vedas, from all the four Vedas, plus Ramayana and Mahabharata and all that, and whatever is there in Puranas. Therefore, when we are reading Upanishads, we are not at all anyway away from the dharmic principles that have been explained, established, and convinced in our scriptures by great Maharushis. Therefore, Rushibhi Tulyam is, what is the function of Rushi? They are only trying to teach us what is what. When we are born, we don't know anything. But we are made to know what we should know. And we are made to follow what should we follow. And we are made to enjoy and reap the benefits after having the achara observed. So that way, whatever Upanishadic thinking or anything we make. So I just now use the word science of birth. So what is how does birth happen at all? And in Aitareya Maharshi told us that primarily the jiva is in the air, floating. And that jiva finds a man, enters into man. And the man manufactures the rethas. And that rethas has been translated by English people as white liquid, containing the essence of entire limbs of the body inside, because to get the food digested, assimilated, circulated, there are so many other limbs of our body important that we know. Not only the stomach and the enzymes of coming from liver and all of spleen and all that, apart from all that juices being jumping into the stomach, in order to make the digestion process to begin for about 4 hours, and see that the digested essence is being divided, and what is not used, a waste, it will be thrown out, human waste or any animal waste or jiva waste, and the other thing will be circulated to nook and corner of our body. See that the whole body remains healthy, energetic, and no fatigue, all this thing come. So this is the science that we are observing. And then the jiva, that white liquid or white blood, because blood is red, but this is white. That's what the translation goes. The 7 or the rethas, annasya vairasaha retaha. Then it will enter into the woman, because she has got the manufacturing factory or equipment in her 2 stomachs, one to hold the baby and another to supply food for the baby and for herself. Therefore, the pregnant woman will, and in the beginning, it may be just reacting to that, because a foreign body entering into the woman's body. So the woman will feel some kind of nausea or some difference. But after some time, that particular fetus which entered becomes a member of her body by herself, so that she will not remember that there is something foreign matter in her. The boy or girl that is growing in the womb of the mother becomes the part and parcel of the members of the body. And that's exactly what our Rishi said. And the same thing in the Ramayana also. In the Yuddhakanda, in the Ayodhya Kanda, Sarga 108 and 9, you find the important information, and this is exactly what going by the Charvaka system, that how far father and mother important. Rudhiram Sukram Evacha, that is what is the Jabali Maharshi says, that only up to the extent of admixture of the Rudhiram or the semen and the Sukram, and only the parents are useful, and the parents are not, and the father is not there to him. So the argument lining, the line of argument of Jabali Maharshi is okay, but that's also true. That's what people, those who promote a mundane world, mundane happiness, and negating the existence of God, negating the achara towards dharma, etc., they feel comfortable. See, to do Sandhya Vandanam or do puja or go to temple, etc., is a deviation and from your routine programs. But if you want to be really benefited, you should keep some time for that also. That is very important. Therefore, so the science I told you, why I take science means it is being reasoned out. It's a biological process, and it's biological. But apart from biological, it is natural. So something metaphorical and metaphysics, etc., whatever talk, all that also is important to complete the process of bio. In these days, the bio shabda has been added to a number of sciences, because all the sciences have been applied upon the bio, the people, the pranis, the janma, the jati, and all that. Therefore, now, when I'm just talking to some people, I come across some scholars who are working on bioethics, biophysics, bio and all that. It's interesting. Now, today we have got our Raghava, he knows more. I don't know. I'm just only talking that whatever science that comes up is only owing to the nature study and owing to the behavioral excellence of the various kinds of people, not only human, even the animals and other species. 86,000 lakh species are there in the world. We only know a few. And there are so many species in the nature which we do not know, and slowly in course of time, people discover. For example, when people go for fishing, they may know some kind of fish, some variety of fish, but the fishery science that there are so many new kinds of fish which they catch when they are trying to throw net in the big ocean. So because ocean is a source where all sorts of jalacharas are found. Therefore, here in this, he said that then when once the child is delivered, the mother claims the child to be her own more than the father. And father is only protector. Mother is the nurse. She takes care of the baby. Even the baby is 90 years. As long as the parents are living, the children are always small before the parents. And that is the interesting thing. That's why one has to respect their parents as long as they live, as long as these fellows live. So it's a life scheme and program. And that's what exactly has been pointed out to us. What benefit we get by reading Upanishad is a good question. But by reading Upanishads, we are able to know science, technology, development, and conveniences, ultimately the philosophy behind the science. That's why we have got several branches: science and religion, science and philosophy, science and... So for everything, science has been reasoned out. Even for interpretation also is science. That's what exactly our Veda Brahmanas will tell us. How to interpret a mantra, how to interpret a sloka is really a good question. So for that, you get a good drilling by our pandits. In Pathasalas, they just give you the correct recitation, padacheda, and meaning of each one, then the vyakarana of that, then put questions, akanksha. Unless one sloka is done with all this system, people don't go to next sloka. In fact, I remember in Deccan College, one German scholar came to learn Kirata Arjuniyam from a Dongre, a great Pandit. And he stayed long time, and I happened to talk to him, and he said, "Sir, I am just going through all these details of understanding a sloka in Bharavi's Kirata Arjuniyam, because Bharaver Artha Gauravam." See, Bharavi's composition Kirata Arjuniya is having the Artha Gaurava. Artha is having number of meanings, and so we get a lot of knowledge, especially the principles for rightful behavior, successful behavior, and how best we will be able to overthrow those people who are negative in thinking, etc., etc. So that's why I understand so much patience, and he wants to make a translation of it. So like that, I am just telling that the 108 canto, there is a, and next Rama became a little disturbed, because of course he knows that he cannot debate or argue with the great Maharshis, but when even Maharshis also promote the mundane world to be the be all and end all, andre ee prapanchade konedu ille illa ide idannu ottodre ಏನು ಇಲ್ಲ ಎಲ್ಲ ಶೂನ್ಯ ಈ ತರಹ ಪ್ರಪೋಸಿಷನ್ಸ್ ಹೇಳೋರು ಮಹಾತ್ಮರು ತುಂಬಾ ಜನ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. They never ask you to do certain religious duties, certain meritorious duties. They always encourage you to do something that will bring problems and health problems and mind problems and so on. So that's why I just want to give you a part of introduction here to say that I was so much happy when ideas about the birth, then the work attachment for that, and how man has got to use the period of time that has been granted by Paramatma upon the earth, because earth is the only platform to all people. Ee Bhuloka on the platform, whereat you can do whatever you want to do. Janma karma cha me vidhi. Krishna said, Aya Arjuna, you have to understand the janma, the birth, and afterwards the karma attributed to that janma. See, that karma alone should not succumb them, but there are some higher karmas also to which you should connect yourself, yoke yourself, and that karma is, you can get it only through yoga. See, that's why janma, so there are people who are cobblers, who are potters, who are well, like that, everybody takes to one profession or the other for the sake of livelihood. Udarani mittam bahukruta vesham bhaja govindam. So yes, so jatilo mundi kantharadari kashayambara, and like that, all these religions, he means all these dress code, they all refer to religions. Lunchita keshaha. So Jains are indicated by lunchita keshaha. So they don't want to give comfort to their body. They want to give so they want to use the natural thing. Therefore, they don't use razor. Some religious Jains don't use razor or all these extra, they not to remove the beard or all that. I've seen them. So this kind of people are there, but all that what? Udara is moksham. Udara is trupti. Udara is nasha. So whether you want to harm yourself, your stomach will tell you. And stomach is the only one which keeps growing. This child, the infant food is different from adult food, and the adult food amount is different from the old man's food. Again, he will revert to the infant food. As people grow older, they can't consume more and more. They have to take only little limited. Mitam hitam cha bhunjita. So they will always have that kind of rationing and control over their own food. Therefore, in Aitareya Upanishad, there are only 33 formulas. Observe. In 33 formulas, our Aitareya Maharshi has given us in wholesale, in totally a beautiful scheme and schedules how best you can use your life and how best you can reach the goal, Amrutatvam. That's why we make a prayer to Amma, Lalita Parameswari, like that, Amrute, Amrutodbhave, Amrute, Amrutam me, Sravaya, Sravaya, Swaha. So, Amrutavati, Parameswari, Lalita or Devi, she has to shower to you the Amruta, sweet liquid, sweet one, so that Amruta Bhavema. So they, whatever they drink, whatever they, that they will become. What food you take, so you grow. That's what Krishna's thesis also. Satvika Ahara, Tamasika Ahara, and Rajo Ahara. And there are 6 kinds of taste, rasas. So ಇವೆಲ್ಲ ಅವ್ರು ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಕೃಷ್ಣ ಯೋಗಿ ಆಗ್ಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಯೋಗಿ ಯಾರು ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಬೇಕಾಗಿರುವ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ಸ್ನ ಫುಲ್ಫಿಲ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. And only then you will be on the road of path of yoga. ಆ ಸ್ಪಿರಿಚುವಲ್ ಪಾತ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಆರೂಢರಾಗಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ದಟ್ಸ್ ಅ ವೆಹಿಕಲ್. ಯೋಗಾರೂಢಸ್ತದುಚ್ಯತೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಯೋಗ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಒಂದು ವೆಹಿಕಲ್. ಆ ವೆಹಿಕಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂತ್ಕೋಬೇಕು. ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಸ್ಪೇರ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಸಿಟ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಮೆಡಿಟೇಷನ್. ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಆಗತ್ತೆ. ಅದರಿಂದ ನಾವು ವಿ ಆರ್ ಇನ್ ದಿ ಐತರೇಯ ಉಪನಿಷತ್ at the conclusion of the 2nd chapter, where Krishna, the Rishi has told whatever he should tell about the Janma, about and the birth of Indra as a protector to all. And so what would happen? All the Garbha happens to Purusha. So don't think that only woman will get pregnant. No, man also is pregnant, but man's pregnancy is not known as long as he is not copulating with another after marriage. That's why Veda yada striyam sinchate atainat janayate tadasya prathamam janma. So mother and father are reborn in the life or in the form of a daughter and son. And they say again, they become grandparents. Again, that is Trutiyam Janma. So to say, though Janma is one that they themselves take, and then the other 2 Janmas are those which are given opportunity for others to be born in the same lineage. Therefore, Prathamam Janma, Dvitiyam Janma, and Trutiyam Janma. So, these 3 Janmagalu admele, then Indra is being born. That's what I say, Sayetameva Purusham Brahma, Tatahatam Apasyatiti. Then Tasmad Indra, Tasmadidindro, Namedandro Havi, Namatamidam Santamindra, Itya Jachate Parochena. So Aitareya Maharshi is able to tell us why we call them as Paroksha Priya Ivahi Devaha, Nahi Pratyaksha Priya Devaha. They don't appear before you and give you grant your boons ordinarily, but they will just make the mind of the people to turn favorable that others, so that your wants and desires and projects and purposes are being fructified. Therefore, here we see that because I covered all these things, I am just trying to revise to you so that you will be able to recapitulate what we have to noted down. So in Dvitiya Adhyaya Prathama Khanda, we are being told that the number of Trutiyam Janma, Pratham Janma, see, Striyam Sinchato, Tathaina Janayita Tasya Prathamam Janma. Then she considers that is become a member of her body, then garbham vibharti so agra eva kumaram janmana agre adhibhavayati sayat kumaram janmano agre adhibhavayati atmanameva tadbhavayati esham lokanam santatya evam santatya hi me lokaha tadasya dvitiyam janma. So here we have got the word santati. See, santati is also a big subject in our Vedas, in our scriptures, and we say that santati niravacheda. There should be continuation of the generations to take our names. Then Trutiyam Janma also is being talked about, that Atma Kruta Krutcho Vayogataha Praiti Sahidaha Prayanne Punarjayate Tadasya Trutiyam Janma. Beautiful. See, there is no guarantee when once we leave our body, we reach our goal or destination. As we are moving towards the Brahmaloka, the stipulated goal for us, again call will come to you that you should come back to the earth. Meanwhile, our punya papa is being scrutinized by that Paramatma. And depending on the time schedule and also the scrutiny that he has done, if you have got to come back to this world, they'll immediately send you summons. No, Trudiyam Janma, you go and take another birth. So one more opportunity for you to cleanse yourself. So why births and births? They're only to turn into Gnanins, and ultimately as a Gnani, go up to Jnaninam. That's why Jnana Vijnana Yoga is one important, Krishna told there, which is very secret, and that secret knowledge has been imparted to Arjuna. ಆ ಜ್ಞಾನದಲ್ಲಿ ಏನ್ ಬಂದಿದ್ದಾರೆ, say ಜ್ಞಾನ is something, adhyatma ಜ್ಞಾನ is important. Whatever ಜ್ಞಾನ degrees we are getting, but paper certificates, that paper certificates we are converting into currency or money, and then getting on our life process running on. As my father said when I passed my BSc, Prabhavan, you have to convert your paper certificate into money, so take a job. So like that, I remember my father who said like that. So after all, how we are getting our jobs? Only submitting our paper certificates given by some authority who judged us. So that is Trutiyam Janma. And when once the Trutiya Janma has happened, and then we have got another idea, which Vamadeva, he wants to acknowledge the opinion of Vamadeva here, saying that, he says that, Panurjayat Taduktam Rishina Garbhenusan Anveshama Vedam Aham Devanaham Janimani Visva Shatam Ma Pura Ayasihi Arakshannadasyenoji Javasa Niradiyamiti Garbha Eva Etatsayano Vamadeva Eva Muvacha. ಎಷ್ಟು ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದೆ ನೋಡಿದ್ರ. So when once you come into the world, you cannot have any control over the length of life that you are to be upon the earth. What time, what happens, we do not know. Anything can happen anytime, and that you describe it as an accident, otherwise incident, and all accidents and incidents are there, but they are not under our control. You can't avoid accidents, but caution has been taken. But when it happens, and how it happens, how dangerous or how serious or how neat and all that could be, all that has been controlled by Paramatma, the Ishvara. So when once it gets away, and when he's born on Trutiyam Janma, then he will live for 100 years or some such time. Then he just becomes a siena bird-like, and then he flies away. See, sieno, not adhat, sieno, javasa, niradiyam iti, garbhe eva, tatsayana, Vamadeva uvacha. So even as the child is there inside the mother's womb, The entire calendar of the life has been sketched out and written down our lalata. That's what Bhartruhari says. Lalata rikita brahmana harinapi harenapi brahmanapi surairapi lalata rikita rekha parimarshtum na sakyate. What a wonderful suggestive statement which Bhartruhari did it. Harinapi, Vishnu, Harenapi, Harinapi, Harenapi, Shiva, Brahmanapi, even by Brahma, whatever lines that have been written on our forehead, they can never be reread or they cannot be erased or changed. Whatever is there written like this, we have to go through. That's why Parimarshtum na sakyate, nobody can erase it. So that's what we call as karma, that's what we call as vidhi, that's what we call grahachara. So number of terms we use to see that we are to go through whatever has been inscribed by Brahma. Even if you ask Brahmadeva, what have you written, read out, he says, I am sorry, I can't read what I wrote. So that's how sometimes doctors in their prescription sheet scribble medicine. Only the medical dispenser, that is medical shop, only that fellow by the press chesi. The press chest, so when we are in the mother's womb, then itself everything has been fixed forever. That's why we always make a prayer every day in our Kendra. Agne naya supatha raye asman vishwani deva vayunani vidwan yojasmajjuhurana meno bhuyishtham te nama uktim vidhema. In the second line, Agni Deva, who is all in all, who is a Brahma, Agnir Brahma. Everybody is Agni. And Agni again is from water. Therefore, so Agnir Brahma, so that Agni knows, Agni is activity. Vayunani are the destinies, are the work programs and projects and proposals, education, everything is included in that. So Vayunani, Vidwan, only Agni knows who is who, what and what they have got to do, when and when they have got to achieve or lose, not only achievement, also losing also is there. We lose and achieve. So all these kind of processes are being well acquainted to Agni. But what is your role? When Agni knows all that and Naya annapudu, guide cheyandi ani annapudu, then what is your role? You just majjuhurana menaha. Ma tappulu, ma doshalu, ma karmalu, ma papalu, etc. Ivanni kuda, we work in such a way that we are trying to silence or reduce the influence or effect of each of them. See that our journey will be good. And like that's exactly keeping in mind, Krishna also said, Bahunam janmanam ante gnanavan mam prapajyate. Remain a gnani, and then you will be able to reach me up. Because Paramatma is available only for Gnanis, never for Agnanis. Because Agnanis will have more and more somersaults. Malla maati maatiki vallu paltil kottune undali. Any paltil kottaro తెలియదు, depends. So avanni lekunda gnanavantuలకు తక్కువ number undi, they will be able to go to Amruta. So they become a bird. Sieno javasa niradiyam. Niradiyam. You understand the word niradiyam? Javasa. Javasa means quick, speed. Because there should be speed in our work, speed in action, speed in achievement, speed in that. If supposing government prescribes for a course for 2 years, You cannot make it 4 years or 5 years, never passing it. No, somebody was telling, oh, the university has prescribed 3 years for a degree. Who are they to prescribe 3 years for a degree? I will take 6 years. Take your 6 years. But 3 years is prescribed by that. Within that, you have to complete. So like that, Yeno Javasa, and and this kind of life's program would go for 100 Shatam Puraha Yasi. So Nuri and the Purna is Shatam by Purnam. So whatever life stretch that we have upon the world is taken to be the complete life. That's why whenever whenever a person departs, we say happy soul departed. Happy soul and healthy. And happy body, body never becomes happy. Body only is subjected to so many changes. Jayate, parinamate, vardhate, mriyate cha. These are all the changes that every body would undergo. Though we are seeing our picture or image in the mirror, right from our cradle up to now or beyond, you are not unhappy. You are happy that you are going to be handsome. And then only you go to the street. That's the Maya. See, the Maya Paramatma is that never you are regretting looking at your personality in the looking glass mirror, that you are just look at it and then say, okay, I can go now. So like that is the Maya which cast over us. All Niravadiyamite Garbha Eva Etat Sayanaha. So Garbhe Sayanaha Eva. As within 9 months period, imagine all things, whatever has to be there after departing from the womb of the mother, or any number length of life that do, all that has been prepared already in our head, in our situation. Some people become wrestlers, some become warriors, some become great scholars. So all this kind of Janma and karma is always distinguished separately, and that distinction is what makes the man the kirti upon the world. So this is exactly the analysis and proposition, rather the finding of Vamadeva Maharshi. Vamadeva is a Rigvedic priest among family mandalas of Rigveda. A large number of mantras have been revealed to Vamadeva Maharshi. And he is very great man. He is very great. Vamadeva, Vishwamitra, Grutsamada, Vasishtha, then all these great rishis are there who got knowledge revealed to them, and they are not selfish. They made that knowledge available for people, for future generations also. But in case of Vishwamitra, he is really unique, because Vishwamitra not only became a Brahmarshi and had top achievements, he wanted Rama also to do his duty very well, eligible or strong enough to kill Ravanasura. Therefore, while Rama and Lakshmana were boys, he took them deliberately away from the father's care and gave them all astras and shastras and all military training. Imagine. And they have been given the Atibala, Mahabala, and that kind of blessing that they don't feel very much disturbed by the hunger and thirst. That is 2 Mahavidyas. But first, Vishwamitra gave and armed the 2 boys to be able to come to forest and stay in the ashrama, and then further until Sita is being married, Rama and Lakshmana were not taken home, which means that these rishis have done such a great ethical generality. See that who are the fit persons who will be able to be the messengers. And of recent times, we have so many people. A ready example is Ramakrishna, Paramahamsa, and Vivekananda. So, but for Vivekananda, there is no Ramakrishna Paramahamsa's knowledge, anybody at all in the world. Similarly, even in the literary field, Anandavardhana's Dhwani theory, Abhinav Gupta, a great Kashmirian Sanskrit scholar, he put pranam into Dhvani theory and brought it to limelight. So like that, here also it is said that Vamadeva says, whatever one has to become, all that is there being installed inside the womb of the mother when any soul or any body is staying in that. Amma Baba is looking at this kind of enormous thinking. We are stunned at all, but simply this much knowledge is not there for parenting people. See, in America, we have got a 1 month training given for both parenting training. 1 month they have to attend the classes of the parenting. But in India, nobody cares. No parent is given any orientation to how to deal with the child when once the delivery takes place. Illi matra, they give a lot of care for children and old people, and that's also important. So that is about India had all these things, but slowly people have turned lazy and they have lost their discipline. And garbha evete sayano vamadeva sayevam vidvanasma sarira bhedat. See, sarira bheda, you understand the word underline? The body has differentiations. No two bodies are the same. But sometimes the diseases of the parent body will spread to the children too. Diabetics, example, or heart problems, etc. So the parent cannot transmit his intelligence to the boy, but he can definitely transmit his disease to the children. Therefore, sometimes children are not as much intelligent and Nobel Prize winners like parents. Father only wins Nobel Prize. Child cannot do it. But if it does it, it's something different. That's why here, Sarira Bhedat, the word Sarira Bheda has so much of meaning and message that Sarira may be same, but there is a Bheda. Some people like sugar, some people like bitter, some people like all the 6 days. So therefore, there's one man's food is another man's poison. And one man's poison is another man's food. So like that, the proverbs have come up. Then what happens when once the sarira gets done with, then urdhva utkramya. So the person will go upwards, never downwards. So urdhva, he will go upwards, utkramya, amishkun swarge. Then he enters into the doors, opened doors of the Swargalokam, because of his punya and karma and good word karma. So because we got Annapurna Ashtakadalli, it is said, Swargadvara Kavata Patana Kari Pasi Puradhiswari Ammavaru door దగ్గరే కూర్చుని ఆ డోర్ క్లోజ్ అవ్వకుండా ఎవరెవరు వస్తారో వాళ్ళకందరికీ ఎంట్రీ స్టాంప్ కొట్టు లోపలికి పంపిస్తుంది. ఎప్పుడు? మాత అన్నపూర్ణేశ్వరి, అమ్మవారు అన్నపూర్ణేశ్వరి మాత. బట్ భిక్షాందేహి కృపావలంబన కరి మాత అన్నపూర్ణేశ్వరి. సో షీ ఆర్ ఆస్కింగ్ హర్ టు గివ్ యూ భిక్ష. Bhiksha is the grace, is the anugraha, is the punyam. And so she has all those qualities. When we recite Annapurna Ashtakam today, Friday, then Annamma will be our Bengaluru Grama Devata, Annamma. She will be very much blessing all people, the inmates of that. Therefore, Swarge Loke Sarvan Kaman Aptva. So I'm just reading the last line of the second chapter. Third chapter will start immediately. So the last line tells you that there is also need to fulfill your wants. You cannot disappear with keeping wants in our mind. ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಕೊನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ಅಪ್ಪ ಕೊನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಇದು ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಅಪ್ಪ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ದಶರಥ, ಬಿಫೋರ್ ಡೆತ್ he asked Rama to live 14 years in the forest and Bharata to be ruler and king sitting on the throne. This is the Dasaratha's last words. Jabali said, forget him. He is no more there to check you. And he's only your... So you can now freely come to Ayodhya and be a king, Pattabhishekta. That's the idea given to that. But Rama said, no. He told, even Bharata might be influenced by the words of Jabali. So he cautions Bharata also, Aya Bharata, Ninge Namma Tande in Hilidare. We are the 4 children of our parents. You and Shatrughna are there to stay in the country, in the Rajdhani, sit on the throne and look to the administrations and be a king. That is what is the work given to you by our father. On the other hand, I volunteered by Lakshmana, of course with Sita, we are ordained to come to forest and live for 14 years. So if we want, so though whether body is living or dead, the words carry. So in the operation table, if the body is living, the method is different. In the operation table, the body is dead, the cutting the method is different. But what the body is important, they want to know about it. So like that, the karma is important, and accordingly we have been oriented or stipulated by our father, who is Guru, who is live. Don't think that father is not in your house, he is no more. No, all Pitru Devatas will be watching us. Therefore, every day we have got to say, Namo Devebhya Swadha Pitrubhya. That's what our Krishna Veda, Aitareya Upanishad tells you, Aya Swami, don't forget your fathers. And Pitru Devatas Anugraha is very important to us, because why Pitru Deva Anugraha? Devanam cha Pitrunam cha Samagamaha Ushakale Siddhyati. Our Shruti tells that in the Ushakala, both go for a walking, Pitru Devatas and Devatas. So as people talk in walking, they both talked about. So the respective Pitru Devatas will talk about their wants living upon the earth, and they expect the grace and kindness to be showered on the living lineage people upon the earth. Therefore, Pitrus are the recommendatory sources or agents for us, and therefore Pitru Tarpana, Pitru Shraddha, etc. are very, very important. In fact, Jabali Maharshi also tells you it is a misnomer that by feeding a Brahmin here on the day your father died, do you think that your father there gets food and all that? No. So Garuda Purana and Upanishads tell you that kind of disbelief is a hopeless job. No, you have to do the Tarpana, you have to do the Pitru Karya and all that, because it is more sensitive point. Pitru Karma is very sensitive, you can't postpone. But Deva Karma, you have options. If not, that's what people do in America. All weekend programs. Deepavali comes on Thursday, it's a weekday, they perform Deepavali celebration Sunday in temples and other places. So that is different. But here, with regard to Pitru Karmas, no option at all. On the day they die, you have to do it. So like that, so Utkramya Amushpin Swarge Loke Sarvan Kamanaptva. పుణ్యం ఎంత ఉందో ఆ పుణ్యం అనుభవించాలి, పాపం ఎంత ఉందో అది పాపం అనుభవించాలి, తర్వాతనే మనకు ప్రమోషన్, జాబ్ పోస్టింగ్స్ వస్తుంది. We know in Swargarohana Parahana Param also, in Mahabharata, Dharmaraja had to visit Yamaloka first, wanted to meet his father and there when he entered the Swarga, the Yamaloka, he found his brothers suffering, all the 4 brothers and other good people. Then he waited to go to his father, Yamadharmaraja, and asked, what is this? We suffered a lot, and my brothers have done only good. But why they are coming here? Why are they undergoing all that punishment, whatever it is? Then Father Yama, Nyayamurti, told, and when he went to other places, Swarga, he found Duryodhana and all his brothers enjoying the Swarga Sukha. Then he got a doubt and asked his father, hey, what is this? My brothers are enjoying or suffering the punishments, while these Kauravas are there enjoying in the Swargaloka. Then Yama father told son, Dharmaraja, oh Dharmaja, you are correct in putting the question to me, but when all came to me, I have asked them the option, because they are eligible to be asked for options. And then Pandavas said, okay, we have been having a lot of difficulty upon there. Whatever little still remaining, let us undergo that in hell and once and for all go to heaven. When Yama asked Duryodhana, then Duryodhana said, no, we have been enjoying a lot of luxury and comfort in Bhulokam. So let me, whatever little punya we have gathered, howsoever, let that be finished by us in Swargaloka. Therefore, according as their wish, I have placed them in Swarga and Naraka. And moreover, you remember, my dear son, first you have visited me in Narakaloka because you have also done some papam. Otherwise, you need not come to me to see Narakaloka, but you could have seen me in Swargaloka when I visited a conference. But you could not wait. You have first visited Narakam. And therefore, why that happened? Because you have your own stock of papam, because you uttered untruth. Aswathama hataha kunjaraha. That kunjara is slow, done. And even in respect of so Bhishma, so you have done some small mistakes and sins, and therefore you have a chance to go through, not bypass. You cannot bypass Narakaloka, and you have come here. So this is how we get the explanation, maybe true or otherwise. But when you in Aruna Prashna, you get the idea. Dakshina Purvasyam Visarpi Narakaha Tasman Paripahi Tas Naraka Narakaha Tasman Paripahi. When it is said Tasman Paripahi means we make a prayer to Surya Bhagavan, eligible God, who can make a bypass to you, and straight you go to Surya Loka and further lokas. No going, something like not going to bus stand of his town and just going in the main road to their goal destination. So like that, here, Sarge Loke Sarvan Kaman Aptva. Then what next? What next is important. The next is Amrutaha Samabhavatu. So then he turns to be Amruta, immortal. And you look at that, Amrutaha Samabhavatu, Amrutaha Samabhavatu. So when it is uttered twice, it is a confirmation. You book your railway tickets, and again afterwards you put telephone and see that your reservation is confirmed. After confirmed the reservation, you will be happy to join. So like that, here Amrutaha Samabhavatu, Samabhavatu Amrutaha. That's the wonderful idea. That is Amruta is most important. That's why we say like that. Then comes, before all that, then comes the question of Vedanta. Veda is knowledge. And what is the end of knowledge? Wisdom. Yenappa ishtella odidhiye, yenarthvayitu nange, nin achara vyavaharadalli yenana change idhiya anta doddavaru keltare. Krishna avare hauda? Doddavaru keltare, yenappa ishtella odidhiya Veda ella, yenu nannalli ಬದಲಾವಣೆ ಆಗಿದೆಯಾ ಇಲ್ಲ ಹಂಗೆ ಇದೆಯಾ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಆವಾಗ ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ರಿಪ್ಲೈ? yes, I have changed, I learned a lot, I can just stimulate and shape my behavior. That's why in the last section of few formulas in Aitareya Upanishad, the Maharshi starts questions, because Prashnottara Upanishad, Shankaracharya, after having commented on that, he has also commented on the Prashnottara Malika Upanishad. See, unless we have got questions, unless we receive the answers, we cannot become wise and confirmed and convinced also. See, whatever that you are convinced, you can act. What you are not convinced, you never undertake at all. That is nature. A human, why should I do antare? Or nanishta illa, I should do antare. Oh, nancha why should I do? So these are all the excuses by which people swerve from normal things. So here in the third section, we see ko yamatma iti vayam upasmahe kataraha sa atma yena va pasyati yena va strunoti yena va gandhana jigrati yena va vacham vyakaroti yena va svaducha asvaducha vichanati. So these are all the questions. Something like in Vishnu Sahasranamam, Dharmaraja putting questions to Bhishma. Kimekam daivatam loke. And also like Rama putting questions to Vasishtha. or like Janaka Maharaja putting questions to Ashtavakra, or like Arjuna putting questions to Krishna. Krishna answered in 574 slokas for all kinds of doubts or questions put forth by Arjuna in 54 slokas or so, and 47 slokas for Sanjaya. But to make all Sanjaya, Arjuna, and Krishna to speak all, to have a discussion, open parallel discussion, Dhritarashtra is the keynote fellow. Dharma kshetre kurukshetre samaveta yutsavaha mamaka pandavaschaiva kimakurvata Sanjaya. So that is the key sentence. That what did they do? They are all yutsavaha. They are all ready to war. And what are they doing? Samaveta. They all met in a common ground. Who are they meeting? Mamakaha, Pandavaha, my people and Pandu's people. Pandu is separate. And Kimakurvata, what did they do? What they are going to do? So I want to know about it. At least the curiosity to know itself is a great plus sign in Dhritarashtra. Not worried about all that. But Vidura and Sanjaya is there viewing all that. But Vidura is the only exceptional character in the entire Mahabharata who never received any injury, who never went to war, who never had anything. Because Vidura is a separate Janma, Yama's Janma. So, Sivalinga very quickly, everybody first line, Ko Yamatmeti.
Om Ko Ayamatmeti Mayamupasmaye Katara Saatma Yenava Pashyati Yenava Srunoti Yenava Gandhana Jikrati Yenava Vacham Vyakaroti Yenava Swaducha Vijanati.
Beautiful. So, question was Atma. What is Atma? Why are we making upasana of that? What is this Atma through which you are having number of functions? Pasyati, here, look at it. Srunoti, here. Gandhana, jigrati, smelling. Vacham, vyakaroti, speech. Then, with the tongue, swadu, aswadu, vijanati. With the help of the tongue, he is able to, our mind, he is able to tell this is sweet, acceptable, and this is bitter, acceptable, not acceptable. Like that, all these kind of functions of our Gnanendriyas are being directed by the Atma, Paramatma sitting inside. Atma. So that Atma is being investigated into. What is that? Koyam Atma. What is this Atma? Atma has two meanings. One is the Sarira, the tool. Atma is the one, the generating machine inside staying. And the generating or the missionary back is Paramatma himself. Because you see, the Paramatma divides himself. He is Maha, he will not Ajaya Mano Bahudha Vijayate. Tasya dhira parijananti yonim. That line tells you that only dhiraha parijananti yonim. Not all people get to know the originations and details about it as our Ashtavakra Maharshi or Aitareya Maharshi or Vamadeva Maharshi, etc. All these Maharshis are able to uncover, to describe the nature of Atma, the reason for the Atma, how the Atma is functioning in our body. Well, all this comes under the purview of the Vedanta. So, Vedanam Adhigata Pataha Tarka Marganuyayi. Nama Guru Medavana Subrahmanya Shastri has composed one song giving us his own CV, his biodata. Subramanya Sujana Vinataha Smarta Sahitya Vidwan Vedantana Madhigata Pataha Tarkamarganoyayi ಸೋಯಂ ಮದ್ಗುರುಹು ಅಂಡ್ ಲೈಕ್ ದಟ್ ನಮ್ಗೆಲ್ಲ ಪಾಠ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ನಮ್ಮ ಗುರುಗಳು ಯಾರಪ್ಪ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಯಾರಿಗಾದ್ರೂ ನಿಜವಾದ ಗುರುಗಳಿಗೆಲ್ಲ ಅಪ್ಲಾಗತ್ತೆ. ಸುಬ್ರಹ್ಮಣ್ಯ, ಸೊ ಸ್ಮಾರ್ತ ಸಾಹಿತ್ಯ ವಿದ್ವಾನ್, ಸೊ ಸ್ಮಾರ್ತದಲ್ಲಿ ಸಾಹಿತ್ಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಗೊತ್ತಿರಬೇಕು. ಅಂಡ್ ವೇದಾಂತಾನಾಂ ಅಧಿಗತ ಪಥಃ, ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಆನ್ ದಿ ಟ್ರ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ವೇದಾಂತ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ಸ್. ದೆನ್ tarka marga anuyayi. Tarka marga is important. If you fail in your tarka or logical thinking, then you are unsoup. So logical thinking, that's what is called science. Tarka Shastra. Tarka, Nyaya, Mimamsa, well, these are all important Shastras which will help the interpretation of our Veda mantras. So as we are just superficial understanding the Veda mantras, note like that. Tanme manasya sankalpamastu. When it is repeated so many times that the Shiva Sankalpa does not occur in our mind, and that Sankalpa also provide you the Shivatvam or silencing or giving peace, is all because of our endeavor, exercise and yoga. So I think we'll go to know more about this Atma and how the Atma is functioning through the body, which is a tool. So Sariram Ajyam Khalu Dharma Sadhanam, or Kalidasa has pointed out in Kumara Sambhavam that Sarira is a sadhanam. So when you have got a sadhanam, the tool, there is a sadhya and there is a dheya, and all these things start. Unless you have got a screwdriver, you cannot open any screw at all. Your nail will not be able to open up, because the strength of the screw is greater than the strength of your nail. We are not Lakshmi Narasimhavataras. Nakhayudhaya Namaha anta. Namgella nakhayudugalide, but that is no way availing that it will go through. So I think with all this, thank you very much that you are able to hear to so much of good wisdom from the mouth of Aitareya Maharshi and also Vamadeva, and we continue to know more about it. Thank you very much. Om Swasti.
Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahana Bhunaktu Sahavidyam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramaya, sarve bhadrani pashyanta, markaschid dukkha bhag bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Tat Sat. Sarvam Shri Krishnarpanamastu. Shri Vasudevarpanamastu. Shri Veda Purusha Ashirvadostu. Om Tat Sat. Hari Om Namaste.